Recording in progress.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey Frazier and Maestro Styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left some. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
Yo, what up? What up, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Special shout out to everybody that's tuning in. We're live on our social media platforms. You can follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Also, check us out on Facebook Live right now on the Facebook page and our YouTube channel. I'm your boy Trey Frazier, and I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's good, fam? How we living?
Cooler, man. Cooler, man. Tired as hell. You know, doing a lot, but hey, man.
Hey, man. a lot of people would love to say the same thing, that they doing a lot. So,
yeah,
blessed
for sure.
Blessed
For sure. Well, how you? Let me ask how you doing, man. How you doing?
Today was crazy, man. So I work in DC now. A couple days a week and everything, and we're doing some bidding work with DC Housing Authority, right? So I didn't hit up like 6 different projects today, just looking at apartments and trying to bid on some work to fix them up and stuff, right? And I probably shouldn't be saying this, but some interesting folks, man. We ran into some interesting folks today, man. So some of these places are vacant, and some of these places got folks living in it, right?
Squatting and shit.
So one guy was squatting, but like you got other people that like to hoard and stuff. But then you got other folks that got normal stuff, living conditions, things like that. Some of the places like nicely kept, Section 8 housing, and then there's other stuff that like really needs like a gut job. But man, I tell you, this lady and her daughter had she had a pole in the bedroom.
That ain't nothing new.
No, I know. It's just you don't normally run into stuff like that. You know
Yes,
what I'm saying?
I do actually. But
Yes,
I do.
You run into stuff normally like that?
I do. That's not the
Hey, shout out to Stadium. I drove by there today earlier.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. I definitely see that a lot in my neighborhood. So
Yeah, that was crazy. She was like, yeah, we kind of do a little, we be doing some things over here, and I was like, hey, I ain't judging. Look, y'all get it however y'all get it,
Yeah, man. So I'm sure that there is bigger news or more important news, but what's important is that it's Pittsburgh-Baltimore week, and I'm just going to just say right now, my morale is low. I'm not gonna lie to you, my morale is really, really low right now when it comes to my Pittsburgh Steelers team. I wish I had a lot of spark and shit talking. Maybe it'll happen before Sunday. Maybe I'll pick my something I hear something, or I get back to life. But right now my morale is really, really low after that ass whooping we took to the Texans over this past Sunday, man. Morale is real, real low, man.
So I got a question.
We really need this win, man.
I got a question, and before I answer the question, let me just set the episode straight here. We do got a guest coming on with us tonight, Yussuf Khan, the founder and the CEO of First and Pen at firstandpen.com. Great articles, sports-wise on there. He's going to be coming on with us in about 20 minutes. He's got an event here in Baltimore this weekend. It's a 3-day event. inviting all the HBCU students and, other folks, sponsors, people from the Orioles, people from the Ravens, people from Dick's Sporting Goods coming out to support the conference. It's called Get in the Game Conference. So we're going to have him on to kind of talk about it. His company is a sponsor as well. So just want to kind of set the table, for his appearance in about, a few minutes. But my question for you, and shout out to CJ Stroud, man. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans and the crew over there, man. They really took it to y'all niggas on Sunday. But I got a question for you because
you was a kicking nigga when he down, nigga. Boy. I come to you humbled and morale though.
Hey, look, I gotta shout out the black coach and the black quarterback that did their thing, man.
That's what we doing.
Look, if that was a 30-23 game or a 30-28 game and the Texans win, I'm still doing the same thing. I'm still shouting them out. So. It don't matter. Blowout, close win, whatever. I got a question though for you, man, because I did hear your coach talk after the game and said, "Man, we gotta change some things around." Mm-hmm. And then I saw a clip this afternoon where someone asked him in the presser, "Hey, what changes are you referring to? What changes are you talking about?" And he went on to talk about. Well, it's more so our physicality. It's more so putting people in places to succeed, putting them in positions to where they'll, their skill set will show better than what's been shown. My question for you is, when he first said that, immediately after the game, when he first said that, did you have in mind there's some changes that I would like to see this team make? And if so, I just like to get your opinion. Like, what kind of changes do you want to see from your team?
Look, man, I want us to play better. That's what I want. Look, I would love to sit here and say, it's the obvious thing. Oh, fire Matt Canada.
Right, because that's what people were thinking when he said that.
And that's the obvious, that's the obvious first go-to. And you know what? I wouldn't try to save him. Let me say that.
Because it's okay to want him gone. But
I don't necessarily know that. Yeah, it's okay to feel that way. It's 100% okay to feel that way. If I'm being honest, you know what? Fuck it. I'm on the fuck it. I'm on it. Yeah, Fireman Canada. Man.
Yeah. It's okay to feel that way.
Because here's the thing. I was trying to shoot him Bill because the truth of the matter is that it's not just him. Offensive line has been bad. When the offensive line is bad, that makes Najee Harris have to be east and west as opposed to north and south.
Yep.
And then that makes him bad. Kenny Pickett has been bad. You know what I'm saying? He's been bad. I know people saying he had a good game against the Raiders, but he had an okay game. He just didn't have a terrible game against the Raiders. But it's not like, I didn't look at that game and walk away with, he had a good game. I didn't walk away with that at all. Now they're pouring on the George Pickens because George Pickens is calling first downs when he was nowhere near a first down. It's just so much negativity around the team right now, but it's self-inflicted negativity. It's not like, in their defense, they played the Browns good defense. They played the 49ers good defense. They beat the Raiders, and then they got smoked by the Texans, which nobody saw coming. It's a 2-2, if we didn't have such expectations, and maybe the preseason got something to do with it, I know it has something to do with my expectations. Maybe I wouldn't, because 2-2 is 2-2. We're a 500 team right now. We're in the hunt. We're in the 100 division. But we saw what happened in the preseason, and we are such a far decline from what we saw in the preseason offensively more than anything. It's like, what's happening? Because we thought we was going to be able to compete with the 49ers. We couldn't. We beat the Browns and we beat the Raiders, but then you would think that Texans weren't necessarily a give me game, but they were certainly a winnable game. And we got smoked.
Offensive line for the Texans was shorthanded, from what I heard.
Like I think it was 4 out of 5 of their projected starters were out.
Yeah.
Kendrick Green played, and you didn't hear his name outside of I think maybe one penalty. So that means he did a decent job. I mean, we got little to no pass rush. I mean, we didn't get there. We didn't get there at all. We got I think we got 5 QB hits. We didn't get there at all. They did what they wanted to. Part of me wants to say, okay, maybe the Texans aren't who we thought they were, and that's why we got that ass whoop like that, because, they smoked Jacksonville recently. So, so part of me wants to go with that, but no, man, we should have won. The team that I thought we should have won that game. It's clear after 4 games, and let's be clear, obviously things can change, but it's clear that we are not the team we thought we were.
And then when you look at the Browns game too, y'all won that game solely on the defensive side.
But a win is a win. So
no, of course. I'm not trying to shortchange the win. I guess what I'm saying is it kind of goes back to Matt Canada and the offense and the way that's structured.
I think the more appropriate thing to say is this offense isn't who we thought they were, because the defense has been playing outside of the Texans game. The defense has been okay. You know what I'm saying? Like more so good against Cleveland, good against okay against the Raiders, and then trash against the 49ers. And I don't really even put that game one on our defense, because it was more because we weren't doing anything on offense.
Right.
The defense is going to get tired. This is the first trash defensive outing we've put out against the Texans.
Yeah.
So look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy
against the Texans, who majority of their offensive line was not healthy. Now we got injuries to deal with in Kenny Pickett and Pat Freiermuth.
Yeah, Deontay's still out.
I mean, but we know Deontay's going to eventually come back. Cam Hayward, I don't believe we've gotten an update since the surgery. We are not the team that we thought we were going to be going into the season. And again, more specifically, we're not the offense we thought we were going to be. And I don't know if Mike Sullivan is probably the guy who will end up being the coordinator. I don't know that he's a better play caller, because obviously the playbook ain't going to change mid-season, but I don't know if he's a better play caller than Canada. I don't know. I don't know that.
Right.
But I know something got to change.
Well.
Something got to change.
Well, I ain't gonna lie to you, man, because the moment your coach said we need to change a lot of stuff, I immediately, my attention went right to that offensive coordinator.
Sure.
And
like everybody's is.
Yeah. And based on everybody's based on what's happened over the past couple of days, I guess it appears that Matt Canada is not going anywhere at this point.
Didn't see.
It's about playing better, really, at this point. Defensively, they could play better than they did against the Texans.
Sure. But that was a trash outing on the behalf of the defense and the offense and special teams. This was a way worse loss than the 49ers loss. I mean, like by eons.
Right. Yeah, I would but offensively is where I don't know that these dudes can play better. Unless that guy, gets his pink slip, and that guy I'm talking about is Matt Canada. That's kind of where I see it at this point, bruh.
But I don't know that again. And look, if he gets fired, I'll say this, and I'll stand on this, If we need this game for morale more than anything. We need this win Sunday. We're going into the bye. If we lose this game and the offense is trash, I'm 10 toes down fire Matt Canada.
Even if Trubisky is a starter?
even if Trubisky's the starter.
Okay. All right.
And even if Trubisky's the starter.
Okay. Which it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
No, it's just he's going to try. Kenny Pickett's going to try and practice tomorrow, and then we'll get more information then. We really don't have any information. So like I said, we need this win for morale more than anything. This is like that game. That Charlie Batch had to come in and win. That was maybe 8.
The year we won the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Right. And everybody was so excited for the win. You know, we ain't go nowhere that year.
Yeah,
This is reminiscent of that. We really, really, really need this win against Baltimore division. Low key, we'd be on top of the North if we win.
Yeah.
But we really, really need this win for morale going into the bye week.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just to kind of stick into the division, so we got to win over Cleveland, bust their ass in Cleveland on Sunday.
No Deshaun Watson.
No Deshaun Watson.
Win is a win.
Yep, win's a win. Win's a win. I think the surprising thing about that, though, with the Deshaun thing, is that they said it was a shoulder, but they said, okay, he was probably going to be good to go. And then you had David Njoku, who I guess burnt himself over a fire pit during the week. But then there was like he's more likely to sit out. But then it's kind of like the roles were reversed. It's like Deshaun decided late, hey, I'm going to be cautious, I'm going to sit out. And then Njoku, who's got burnt, is a dude that's out there playing. So
unfortunately, the thing about it, and I don't know what this. I know he had some face burns. I don't know the severity of his injuries, but I would say this: if your bones and limbs are still working, you can play football with burns on your face.
I guess.
And again, this is
knowing what we know, right, about those kinds of like.
Just knowing what we know.
Yeah. Nah, I got you.
I've never been burnt by fire to the extent of anything really. I just know that it's a burn. It sits there. It scabs up, and and
very irritable.
Yeah,
for certain.
Yeah, but I would imagine he could still play football.
Yeah,
and that's what he does for a living.
Which he did. Which he did. He did. Yeah. He got us a couple times, but defense came to play on Sunday. They definitely needed to bounce back from blowing that one last week to the Colts at home. They definitely, needed to bounce back from that. Offensively, the same thing. I know Lamar had another fumble in the game, which, like, he's got to clean that up because this has been too much of that for my liking, over the course of 2 games. So I like the offense to kind of, clean that up. If we could do that, then I think even with not having OBJ, and we'll see what his status is for the Sunday, but Rashad was out of the game as well, and we're just gonna have to see what happens as far as that's concerned. But we got another Melvin Gordon sighting on Sunday, and I guess his highlight was catching a 20-yarder down the field, right in the breadbasket. Set us up for a touchdown and everything. And so, look, man, looking forward to this Pittsburgh game.
Let me ask you about your secondary. How is your secondary health-wise?
Oh, it's not good. it's not good, man.
I saw something on Twitter.
Although they felt more positive about Marlon Humphrey coming back this week to practice, and if that's good, then you're going to see him in the game on Sunday. And quite frankly, I need him out there on Sunday for real. I need him.
That's the way we playing.
I need him. Well, look, I noticed that Pickens had a couple of big plays. He had one in the Raider game, and then he had one against Cleveland, right?
He dropped a touchdown. I mean,
sure.
And it was a difficult one. I get it, but he dropped it.
Right.
It doesn't help that he he ain't doing nothing wrong. Let me be clear on that. He's doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But he do a lot of according to what I'm reading on Twitter, he's doing a lot of bitching when he not getting the ball. He dropped a touchdown last week and a one that he should have caught with a possession down on a possession down.
Mm-hmm.
Then to add injury to insult, because this ain't that important, bruh. You keep doing the first down sign and you're not getting first down.
Nowhere near the first down.
So I asked about your secondary because I saw something interesting on Twitter today. The Ravens picked up Trace Swilling from Georgia Tech and added them to the practice squad.
Yes.
And you're aware of who?
And you're gonna mention the game in college where they was tussling.
Right.
Yes. Yep.
Right. So I'm wondering, is this a petty move on Steelers week this week, or do you really see value in Trace Swilling?
I don't know much about the kid, to be honest with you.
And I tried to Google him, and Google don't know that much about him neither. That's why I'm feeling like
I don't know much about him.
Trying to be petty. That's why I feel like y'all trying to be petty.
Well, maybe, but I wish I knew enough about the kid, and quite frankly, I kind of wish I knew what the status of some of these guys are. Geno Stone got a little hurt on Sunday, but I feel like I expect him to be out there to play. I mean, other than that, I mean, we get Humphrey back, then you're probably not going to see Spilling out there. What my guess is.
Even to not just to pick him up because
mind games.
Right. Like, so I feel like we're being attacked mentally by the Baltimore Ravens, which, you know what? I respect it. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I read that and was like, I feel you. I respect that.
Look, if Marlon Humphrey comes back and he's healthy and all the other guys play, Geno Stone, Stevens, and those guys, I would expect to see Spilling a lot less than maybe some people anticipate.
Well, he hasn't even been brought up to the 53 as of right now.
Okay.
According to Twitter. Again, this is Twitter sources.
Right.
He hasn't even been brought up to the 53 yet. But they did put him on the practice squad today.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I did see that. I saw that clip of them tussling in that college game some years ago. I did see that. But hey, maybe it is something to mess with your minds. Maybe it isn't. But that cannot be the focal point of the game. Like that can't let's just go out there and just win.
They won't.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Like yeah.
But I do wonder if they're gauging. They want to see what Trace Swilling is going to do for intel. For maybe they let him get a play and see if he could push some buttons to get George Pickens off his square.
Maybe
because he has been unhappy with his targeting.
Right.
Times. So
if we're up 20-0, then maybe they'll throw him out there and try to do something crazy with Pickens or something. But in a tight game, I don't need that guy out there. I need the horses out there. Pause. I need the dudes that know what this rivalry is about, that know what it is, the stakes and everything. I don't need no guy off the practice squad to come in to this rivalry. This game is too important. We have a chance. And we beat the Bengals on the road. We beat Cleveland on the road.
Right.
And if we can beat Pittsburgh on the road, that's 3-0 in the division on the road with the rest of the division games in our building later, in the season.
Oh my God, we need this fucking
game. If we can get this, dog, that means 4-1. That means everybody talking about us as the AFC, maybe not the favorite in the AFC, but maybe the second or third best in the AFC. Is a lot at stake this Sunday in this game for this team, even with the injuries and all that. Because look, the only guy that's not coming back is J.K. Dobbins. Everybody else and Ojabo. I found out Ojabo's on IR. But
that's 4 games. That's 4 games minimum.
Yeah. But I'd still like to have him back on the roster and everything. But when you look at the list of injuries, the majority of those guys at some point in the year are going to come back. So that's why I'm not as worried as, other fans are when it comes to, the injuries and, things like that. It's, hey, we're going to get these guys back at some point, but I like, the wide receiver core. Zay Flowers is healthy. He's out there, shooking and jiving these guys. Nelson Aguilar is played okay up to this point, and we got 2 tight ends, and so I'm just looking forward to this moment, man. But we gotta get this win, man. We really gotta.
We need this win more than y'all. But I feel you.
I don't think so, but we'll see about that. I don't think so.
I'll bring it back up.
No doubt.
Bring it back up.
All right, let's bring in our guest here. We got the brother here, Yussuf Khan, founder and CEO of First and Pen, which is a great sports writing website. You can find it at firstandpen.com. He's with us today to help talk about this conference, the sports conference here in Baltimore. It's a 3-day event, October 6th through October 8th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Sheraton Hotel, Inner Harbor, downtown Baltimore. A lot of HBCU students to come out and learn some things about getting into the sports business, and a lot of companies coming out, from the Orioles, Ravens, Dick's Sporting Goods, and, Under Armour, more importantly, just to name a few. Yussuf, thank you for, coming in, man, to talk about this, bro. First off, how's everything?
Everything is good, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. I've watched you, grow the show for quite a while, so it's great to finally meet you guys.
Absolutely appreciate you, man. We appreciate having us on. Talk about First and Pen, man. How you got started, and kind of what's your goals and why you got it started.
Sure. So I've been in sports media now for almost 25 years. Got my start with the Knicks and with ESPN, and went to startups from there. I was part of CBS Sports Network, which was college sports television, big league sports. I ran the Shadow League for a couple of years, and about 2.5 years ago, I launched First and Pen because I felt like there weren't any sites that were really telling sports stories through our voices. So I decided to launch First and Pen, and what we do is inform, inspire, and connect through voices of color in sports. So we're a little different than your traditional, scores and stats driven type of properties. We have a very unique voice. Got some really great writers that work with us, and really excited about, what we've done in the last 2.5 years and where we're going, which is, we will start expanding into video, into podcasts, and then events as well, which is, one of the things you mentioned before.
Yussuf, I got to ask you, you from New York?
Yes, I am. Born and raised.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Born in Queens, raised in Brooklyn, man. Been staying out here for about 20 years now. But you mentioned the Knicks, yes, which is my team, since, childhood. What specifically did you do with the Knicks?
So I worked there in '99 during the strike season.
Oh, wow.
So that was the year I started. So we didn't start work until I think late January, early February.
Yep.
Because remember, the strike lasted for about 2.5 months.
I remember that.
But that was the year. Yeah, that was the year that we got Latrell Sprewell, and went all the way to the finals. Unfortunately, Ewing had gotten hurt in the Eastern Conference Finals when he got hurt, and we played the Spurs. We gave everything we could, but we lost 4-1. But that was an incredible season. It was, I tell you, as a diehard Knicks fan, long-suffering Knicks fan, that series was one I can honestly say we gave everything we had. There was nothing else we could have done against Tim Duncan, David Robinson, and the rest of the crew.
Yeah. That had to be the most exciting playoff run. Like, all my years of, watching the Knicks in the playoffs and them going up against Jordan and the Bulls, whether it's Reggie and the Pacers or the Pistons, early on. That year, that 99 season, and it was a short one, but that had to be the more exciting run, to the finals. Like, I think it was more exciting than 94 when we went to play Houston.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, man, it was, yes, the LJ, right? Yes, that. Let me tell you something. I've never, ever felt that type of movement and shaking when LJ hit that shot place went crazy. It was actually my birthday. My wife threw a surprise party for me that night. We had like 35 people at the house.
Nice.
It was incredible. It was incredible. But I tell you, that 94 championship, that had to be the hardest heartbreak I have ever had in my entire life. And that's what you get when you're a Knicks fan, right? You love them. You just can't leave them alone, right? No matter how bad they break your heart.
So since we're talking Knicks here, and we'll talk on some other stuff because we had a couple of trades go down on NFL Sunday. You had Damian Lillard go to Milwaukee from Portland, and then just a couple of days later, you had Jrue Holiday go from Portland to Boston, which now everybody's talking about. These are the two best teams going into the season in the Eastern Conference. I'm gonna make my claim right now, since we on the Knicks topic. Knicks Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals, for me. For me.
For you?
Because you got to the second round. When nobody thought you were gonna get to the second round, we had like home court surprisingly in the second round. It's just the Heat were just more battle tested than we were, and they was knocking down threes and everything. And we go into the offseason, we address the 3-point shooting with the DiVincenzo acquisition. Not a lot of big names available to trade for, so we just kind of roll with what we got while we address the weaknesses. And this team, to me, they got to take that next step up.
I think as much as Jalen Brunson really shocked the world last year with the run that he had, I mean, look, we were literally one play away from beating Miami in that game, and you can't even blame him. He had one mistake, and that was the end of the game.
That was the end of the game, yeah.
Yeah, but you can't blame him. I mean, he carried that team when Julius Randle was doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So we come back with basically one addition, which, I think is good. But again, is it what we need? We've got 4 number ones next year, 2 second rounders, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like 9 first rounders in the next 3 years, if I'm correct. Something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Could you have packaged those along with maybe a backup guard to acquire maybe a Jrue? To me, I've made this claim for a long time. Giannis doesn't get that championship without Jrue.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that.
And I think Jrue is battle tested. I've been a fan of his for a long time, and I think he is somebody that can elevate a franchise, not as a superstar, but a really good, slept-on player who's bigger than people realize, height-wise, and he can guard and shoot from the 3. So I thought they should have made a run at that type of player. But, we'll see what happens, because one of the things I think people forget about, you need a bench to win the championship.
Yeah. Of course, yep.
A lot of these teams, Milwaukee, the Celtics, they've now sacrificed their bench for, some serious players. So if one of them gets hurt, as we've seen, Giannis goes down, Kevin Durant goes down, what happens?
Yep.
Yeah.
They'll have a bench.
Yeah.
Which they will, because Porzingis in Boston, he will get hurt at some point, right?
Yep. And here's the other thing. They have, I think it's 3 players right now in the Celtics who make over $30 million right now. And you know that what's his name's coming up next year during a media rights deal, which is going to be next year for the NBA. They're negotiating their media rights deal. So, we'll see what happens. They can't afford to keep 4 or 5 players over $30 million.
Yeah, that I agree with. But it seemed like, KP's gone. Porzingis will be sacrificed in that situation, I like to think. As far as the Celtics go, man, I agree. I don't know if they gave up a lot of, getting rid of Robert Williams is going to hurt the Celtics. So I don't know where we think they're going. I don't know where you got them going as far as in the Eastern Conference, but that's going to hurt.
Because Horford's 38 years old. You ain't going to keep him in the paint for so long.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah.
I understand Malcolm Brogdon had some issues with Boston. He wanted to be gone one way or the other, so good to get that off the books. But Robert Williams being gone is going to hurt. The Bucks, I guess nobody in the East really challenges the Bucks. I mean, because Gabe Vincent leaving the Heat, that hurts. Max Strus gone from the Heat, that hurts. I don't know that nobody really challenges
the situation in Philly right now.
Yeah, which is trash. I don't know that anybody challenges I tend to lean towards your prediction of the Bucks and the Knicks. I kind of do lean towards that.
Yeah, it could happen. I do think the Bucks will be the team to beat.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
that the Celtics will be team 1A, to be quite honest. I think Tatum is going to take another step up this year, because he's in a contract year. So I think that'll be interesting to watch. But I think the Heat will take a step back because they really didn't get anyone, too
Mm-hmm.
big.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I mean, the Knicks could finish in that top 4, area
Mm-hmm.
and see what happens from there. They had a really good series against Cleveland, and then again was literally one play away from beating the Heat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
it could happen. It could
This
happen.
team's got players that I feel like haven't reached the ceiling yet. Like RJ Barrett, and I know people get on him a lot, but I don't feel like he's reached his ceiling yet.
I don't think he's gonna reach in New York, but
Well, it would be because Julius Randle's in the way.
Yeah.
well, yeah, maybe. I don't know that New York is for RJ Barrett. That's what it's starting to feel like. And I'm not a Knicks fan at all, but it don't feel like that's right for him.
Yeah,
Remember,
I'll tell you what's interesting. If you watched him in the FIBA championships this year, right, when they beat the US for that consolation game, he had a really good game. He had a really, really good game. And he's a 19-point scorer.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's improved every year, which I give him credit for. I just don't see him as the superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's the problem.
That I
The
agree
Knicks-
with you with.
Yeah, and you need a superstar to win a championship. One,
Yes.
you need at least one superstar. We've seen it every single year.
Yeah.
You need a superstar, and if you don't have one, it becomes very hard to win the championship. I mean, look at Miami last year.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
They went up against Golden State, and Steph was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen."
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
without
right.
that, and you see what happened to Julius Randle, he disappeared in the playoffs. If he does that again,
You
what
got to
do we
part.
do?
You got to part ways if that happens again. And I'll shoot him some bail in this regard. He got hurt.
got hurt,
Like
yeah.
5
Yeah.
games left in the regular season, and then he missed. I think he missed a game against the Cavs, and then he missed game 1 against the Heat, which I felt like we could have got game 1 had Julius been on the floor. But when he came back, he just wasn't the same guy. So
Yeah.
I need to see a healthy Julius in the playoffs for me to be like, okay, is this dude really gonna, do what he did regular season and translate that to the postseason? And if not,
Right.
if to me, if they don't get past the second round, then you got to put some hot seats on Tom Thibodeau. You got to put a hot seat on Julius Randle, and for real, you got to put one on Leon Rose too, because I think
let's say 2 years.
it's been longer than that, man. Leon Rose been there longer than that.
Well, no. I'm just talking about when you really felt like you put a squad together. Like when Jalen Brunson came,
Right.
That's what made y'all feel like, okay, now we really starting to develop a squad. So that's last year and this year coming. I mean, they the reasons why you low key got a squad to build on.
Sure. I think it's more so the draft picks, the situation with the draft picks, and I get it again. You need a superstar, and those guys just aren't available every year. And Maestro, like I told you before, I'm not giving up three or four first and 3 players to get a guy that's not going to be here long term. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm giving up that capital for a guy like Luka Doncic. I'm giving that up for a guy like Giannis. I'm giving that up for even a guy like Anthony Edwards if he somehow becomes available, if his situation don't work out in Minnesota. I'm not giving that up for guy like a Damian Lillard. Would have been cool to get him, cool, but I'm not giving all that up for Damian.
But you get the idea that Damian Lillard wouldn't want to stay. Like Damian Lillard was the person that came up out your mouth. You feel like Damian Lillard was the type of cat that don't really want to be in New York, or he wouldn't stay there.
Not that he wouldn't stay there. It's just the age, and I get he can still play. It's just the
age. Okay.
It's the age for me. That's the only thing. Like, I want to give up draft capital for guys that are entering their prime or in their prime. I don't want to give it up for guys that's on their way out of their prime.
So Yussuf, let me ask you, man, in this this very speculative conversation. Y'all spoke about how many draft picks. Who is somebody in your mental mind that you think they could come? You could give some of them picks away in the future, like let's say in the next 2 years.
It's funny. I was looking around to see who was coming up for free agency and who we could possibly get.
Spider.
I mean, yeah, Donovan Mitchell would have been really, really interesting in New York, right? He'd come home first of all because he's from the area. That would be a really interesting one because here's the problem: we have not had a marketable star since Patrick Ewing. We just haven't. Right? Carmelo was great, but look at what happened at the end.
Yeah.
And we actually had a really good team that year with Stoudemire and Raymond. I think Raymond, right?
Raymond Felton.
Yeah,
Yep.
Raymond
Yep.
Felton.
Tyson Chandler. J.R. Smith. Yeah.
Yeah. We actually don't forget Stoudemire was an all-star that year, and so was Felton.
Right.
And then when Melo came in, that was the mistake that the owner had. Right. He messed up. He should not have done it because Carmelo was a free agent at the end of that season anyway. And we could have probably signed him as a free agent versus giving.
But you know what happened? They feared that he was going to go to the Nets. And, the Nets had just left Jersey to come over to Brooklyn. So I think that's what the fear was, is that he was going to go over there and make them marketable instead of making the Knicks, more marketable. So that's why they went for it.
I think the problem was management. Owner always gets in the way. He always gets in the way. I mean, you've seen it, right? They have the big pink slip that people have been signing to get rid of him for the longest time. I think this is the first time I can honestly say that this team has not been interfered with yet from him.
No drama. There's been no off-season drama.
Yeah, which we don't need, right? We don't need
no issues.
I do like this though. I like the 3 Villanova guys coming back together. That I do like.
Yeah.
Right? I think that has chemistry. I think they bring a certain leadership, veteran leadership, young veteran leadership to the team. They're missing one. They're missing a marketable superstar. Like if you put Dame 3 years ago on that team, different story.
Yeah.
The Dame is I think 33 now.
33. Yeah.
Right? 33. So if you put a 30-year-old Dame on there with a Jalen Brunson, a Hart, and a DiVincenzo, that's a different team.
Yeah.
Completely different team.
Right.
Or even Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell's what, 26?
26, yeah.
Put him on that team. Brunson is a leader, and that's something we have lacked for a long time. He is a leader. That ball goes through him, and that's it.
Yep.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. Probably the best point guard since Walt.
Well, I tell you, man, I got to go back to '94 because Derek Harper in the finals, we were still screaming, "Get Starks out of there! Give the ball to Derek Harper," because he was having a damn good series that year against Houston.
Yeah,
and he was a point. He was a pure point. So we blew it back then too.
Yeah. So. I guess before we talk NFL, I wanted to shout out our good buddy Jeff Fox down in Miami.
Yes, sir.
We had him on here a couple of times last year, and one of the things he mentioned when he was on here was he mentioned you and your First and Pen and what you've been doing with the website and everything. So I just wanted to let you know that he spoke some great things about you when he was on with us.
You. Yeah, Jeff is my man. We go way back. And I remember listening to him. A lot of people don't realize his history in media, right? Jeff was one of the only Black hosts at the time, right? With the Sports Bros, him and his partner.
Yeah.
And people forget that after the Two
Live Stews.
Right. Yeah. After they kind of, were pushed aside, it was the Sports Bros that were there. So Jeff and I have known each other over 10 years. I've always followed what he's done, always supported him. He supported me. So he's definitely a good dude. Even though, he's a Raiders fan, I didn't give him any flack for my Steelers beating the Raiders. But
yes, sir. Oh, a Steelers fan, you say.
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan. I didn't want to say it. But
yeah.
Wow.
Maestro, I was afraid Trey was going to cut me off.
Wow. Hey, man, we had a nice Knicks conversation, and then it just went left. Man.
I didn't want to say it because I saw your room. I didn't want to say anything, but
wow.
it had to come out eventually.
Yeah.
Well, hey, speaking of which, because you're a native New Yorker, so at least you could say you're not a Giants fan or a Jets fan, because right now,
is it really that bad? Is it really much worse right now?
Let me tell you, I don't know if you guys saw that Giants game last night. It was so bad, I actually started feeling bad for Daniel Jones. I actually felt bad. He was getting sacked every time he got the ball. 11 sacks. They
11
didn't
sacks.
They didn't chip.
Sheesh.
Nothing. I've never seen anything like that. 11 sacks. They were beating him down every which way. The Jets, again, no one would anticipate that the fourth play of the season and boom, your season is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But then again, he's a 39-year-old quarterback. I personally felt they should have made a pitch for your boy, Jackson.
Yeah.
I think they should have gone after him.
I agree.
They're saying that about a lot of teams. They're saying that about the Falcons. They're saying that about the Bears. They've been saying that about a lot of teams that's having these rough starts. The Panthers are 0-4. They've been saying it about a lot of these teams. But
I have my own feelings on the Panthers, man. I think that they did Steve Wilkes very dirty last year.
I agree.
Yep. I think that he went 6-6. He had him one game away from the NFC South in a playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought in Frank Reich, who people forget he was 3-5-1 in his last 9 games with the Colts before he was fired.
Right.
Which means that he is 3-9-1 in 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's just a good offensive coordinator.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine, right?
Yep.
But as a head coach, if you look at his Indianapolis Colts record, he had some good seasons, but then he started to fall off.
Yeah.
And personally, I felt that C.J. Stroud was better suited for the NFL than Bryce Young was. Mm-hmm. And I think he's proving us right now.
Right.
The ass whooping he put on us.
A couple things I heard about that in regard to the Panthers. So there was rumor that Reich did want C.J. Stroud, and they elected to go with Bryce Young instead. And then the other thing that I heard was that when D'Amico Ryans was interviewing for head coaching jobs, he declined to interview with the Panthers. That should tell you something.
That's interesting. I think, it's if you have a team that was 1-4 at the time, and Matt Rule gets fired, and your coach brings them to a 6-6 record, right? So they finished literally one game out of winning the NFC South.
All they had to do was beat the Bucs that one game, and they could have been division champs. Yeah.
But you know what? You got to give him credit, right? He took a team where basically you had nobody throwing DJ Moore.
Yeah.
You had Dante Freeman, right? I think it was Deontay Freeman was a running back at the time.
Yep, it was. Yep.
And they were winning. And now everyone is broken up. Miles Sanders is in.
Foreman, I'm sorry. Deontay Foreman.
Deontay Foreman, excuse me.
Yeah.
Deontay Foreman. Right. Miles Sanders is in. He's not running as well as he did with Philly, right? They don't have a number 1 receiver.
They traded him away, yeah.
Exactly. DJ got traded. So it's a tough situation for Bryce to walk into. But I felt CJ Stroud was just more NFL ready than what Bryce Young is showing right now.
Yeah, for sure. I tend to agree with that cause boy, and then let's not forget they smoked Jacksonville as well. They beat they smoked Jacksonville as well. CJ Stroud looking like he might be one of them for the foreseeable future. So with this new learning, man, I gotta ask you, man, how did what are your thoughts on Pittsburgh after 4 games? And I know this is a sore spot to say it in. But I would give me your thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you, man, last year towards the end of the season, I was like, okay, maybe they're gelling. Maybe the offense is starting to gel. But after that first game against San Francisco, I was like, they couldn't even move the ball. Like it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I saw a stat the other day. The Steelers have the second worst 3 and out record in the NFL right now. I think it's like 60-something%, something crazy.
Yeah, but nasty business.
It is, and I tell you, the offense just does not look like it's gelling, and I think Canada has got to go. And I don't know why Tomlin, who I love, respect, I've been a fan of his since he first got there. I don't know why he refuses to see and let him go. Like it's just not working. He might be talented. It's not
Not working.
And then when you have a 4th and 1 and you play it out of shotgun after Najee Harris literally had 2 big runs and you need 1 yard and you go into shotgun and look what happens.
Yeah, that was surprising to me.
Okay.
That play call.
I mean, from the second they lined up, I said, "Oh my God, no."
Even the announcer said it. Even the announcer said this is shotgun on a 4th and 1 play.
Yeah.
And you see what happens.
When Kenny Pickett got a high, like you could have went quarterback sneak. He got a high rate of completing those.
You could have called a quarterback run, if anything, right? Because he can actually run.
Yeah.
I think Canada has to go. I think they should have. I wish they had gone off to Eric Bieniemy in the offseason to let him just run the show. But, sometimes the Steelers have too much allegiance.
Loyalty.
Yeah, and
I heard somebody say that earlier today.
But I will say this. People better stop dissing Najee like he is the problem.
Exactly.
And that all of a sudden Warren is going to be some all-star running back. Warren plays well for the plays that he is given. He is not an every down back. He is a great back for the role he plays.
Yeah.
Najee is a star. They put him in the worst positions because I think it was Warren Sharp who did this analysis. Every time that Najee's in the game, they go under center and everyone knows it's a run.
It's a run, yeah. Yeah.
You can't do that to a player. I don't care if he's 235 pounds.
Yeah.
So Najee is not the problem. And they need to stop getting on him like he's the problem.
Yeah, yeah. Because the offensive line ain't helping either.
No, please. I think Trey would have blocked better as a Ravens fan for the Steelers.
Jeez Louise.
Man, but so Yussuf, I'll ask the same question to you I asked Maestro earlier. So when Tomlin gets on the podium after the game and says, "Man, we gotta make some changes. Like the product was terrible. It was trash." Aside from Canada, and I know that's probably number one on your list, but what changes would you like to see him make, just kind of based off of his comment?
Well, I think first of all they have to stop being so predictable. That's one of the biggest problems. Canada aside is that they are just predictable. We do the same things. And everyone knows what's coming. I'm sure, Maestro, you see it. First play of the game, you know what's coming.
Yeah,
it's gonna be off tackle.
Yeah.
Right, and it's out of the under the center position. Same play. Now we lose Fairmouth. Fairmouth, I think, is out for 2 weeks with a bad hamstring.
Yeah.
So we lose our number one tight end. Maybe the rookie comes up from Georgia. Maybe he starts playing. But again, we're not getting them the ball. We are missing Deontay Johnson, which, okay,
that hurts.
That does hurt, right? Hopefully he'll be back in another 2 weeks because I think they have a bye coming up. But I think it's just predictability. And I think sometimes Kenny Pickett is not seeing the play the way that he should. And I think that's Canada's fault because he's got to let him know this is where the man is going to be. And we saw it on that 4th down play. If he had just waited half a second in the pocket, okay, Pickens was coming around for the curl. It would have had an easy first down. But again, why are we running a 15-yard curl on a 4th and 1?
4th and 1.
So I don't know, Trey, what offensive changes they're going to make unless they get rid of Canada. I don't think anything's going to change. And I hate to say it. I just don't know what else you do unless you change the guy who's calling the plays.
And that's the thing. I agree. And I was telling Trey the guy who would be next up is Mike Sullivan. And look, I don't know nothing about him to believe he's going to call plays any different because obviously they're not going to throw the playbook out. But I don't think it's the playbook issue. It's a play calling issue.
The situations,
it's a play calling issue. So I don't know that Mike Sullivan is going to do it any better. But I will tell you this. We need to do something because, like I was saying to Trey, we need this game. I mean, absolutely, for nothing more. The win, the W, but we need this morale boost for the rest of the season going into the bye. We need a morale boost, and there's no better morale boost that we have on the schedule right now than the Baltimore Ravens.
And here's the other thing is that don't forget we beat Cleveland, so we have one AFC North win already.
Right.
If we go into the bye with beating the Ravens, that's 2, and the Ravens just beat up all over Cleveland the other day. Cincinnati, nobody knows what's going on with Cincinnati right now. So, this is an opportunity to get 2 wins in the AFC North. And it's a big game too, you know. So I always it's funny. Last year, if I remember correctly, I think the Steelers beat the Ravens twice, if I'm correct.
Split.
And we
Oh, we
split.
did split. No,
Right.
before the past 2 years before
Yeah.
that, we
So we split last year
Mhm.
with a horrible team that we had, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, listen, if we split with the Ravens again and we can beat the Browns, and since all of a sudden we're AFC North champs.
Yeah.
So this is one of the biggest games, and I think they have to. That if it were me, Canada would be gone. He'd have been gone, and I would have brought in my mother to have called.
Yeah. I understand. I made my statement. If our offense is bad against Baltimore going into the bye, I'm burnt. I'm getting voodoo dolls of Canada. I'm burning them. I am full fleet on the fire because I feel like I've been too graceful for these first 3 weeks. Like, all right, yeah, Matt Canada called shit plays, but we've been playing like trash too. So let's give some chances. After that ass whipping we just took from the Texans, we can't.
But you know what? Here's the other problem. When you have an offensive coordinator that's calling bad plays, it also talks to the blocking scheme. And to me, if our line is not creating holes for Najee, if he's not protecting Kenny Pickett, that's an offensive coordinator too thing. You know,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
the entire offense is his responsibility. I know you have an offensive line coach, but I tell you, it's trickled down, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And if
Right.
the head of your offense is not good, it affects everybody. I mean, look at Washington right now, right? Washington is moving. They should have beat Philly this past week.
I agree with that.
There.
Yeah.
You've got a guy who has proven that he was an integral part, if not the integral part of Kansas City's offense, in that Eric Bieniemy.
Right.
So if you have a guy like that, and he's proven it, why can't your guy do the same? And obviously he's not.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, there's no choice. He's got to go. Especially he lose to the Ravens, he might get halftime.
Yeah. Get out. Yeah. Like I'm man, and my goodness, if we go 3 and out on that first possession, I am gonna lose my mind. And if I'm with you, Trey, I'm gonna I pay for the drywall work. I'm telling you.
Don't mess up my new basement, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, I'm gonna lose my mind if we go 3 and out.
I tell you what, man, you might want to place the order for that voodoo doll of Matt Canada right now, because it's gonna happen.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It's gonna happen.
Division.
Bro.
I am hanging on division game. It's a division game. You never know what's gonna happen in the AFC North.
Absolutely.
You never know who's gonna wake up and want to play football all of a sudden, or going to want to play call all of a sudden. Hopefully, Matt Canada. I do not want to lose right now to the Baltimore Ravens going into the bye week. I don't know. Yeah, at home.
And look, Lamar is my guy. You know, $100,000. But you look at his catalog of games against Pittsburgh, they haven't been the greatest. You know, compared to his games versus other opponents. Pittsburgh is definitely giving him, some fits.
One other thing I will add is that does scare me a lot. Our secondary has been atrocious this year, because when Devontae Adams went off in that first half, I was like, Patrick Peterson, what are you doing? Are you going to guard somebody? Bring in Joey Porter then. If he's going to get toasted, let him get toasted.
Mm-hmm. But the problem is that they're not going to sit Patrick Peterson down. They're going to sit Levi Wallace down. They're not going to sit Patrick Peterson down to let Joey Porter play. They're going to sit Levi. And look, I get it, man. He's a vet. He's a Hall of Famer. He's not getting it done, man.
No, he's not.
And Levi Wallace got his own issues too, but at least he had a 2-pick game against the Vegas. At least he'll when the opportunity is there, he'll get it. Meanwhile, when Patrick Peterson talking shit to San Fran, he drops 2 picks.
And on top of that, he let up 2 interceptions right in his face.
And then still got smoked by Ayuk in that game. So it's just like, I get it, man, and I don't like that we lost Cameron Sutton for Patrick Peterson. I don't. There's nothing And meanwhile, I saw a stat on Detroit. He's only allowed 113 yards in 4 games. Cameron Sutton.
Are they throwing his way a lot?
I don't know. But that's a good stat one way or the other.
No, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, but
I think at this point, listen, if you drafted, with Chicago's pick, you ended up getting the guy you wanted, Joey
right,
Porter Jr.
right.
Put him in, see what he
But
can do.
yeah,
Put him in. I mean, he's long, he's lengthy, he wants to play. So if anything, play a little more nickel than you normally do.
right.
Let him
Yeah.
get a shot.
And he's been decent. Like there's nothing glaring on tape that I saw of Joey Porter that made me feel like, oh, he doesn't deserve to get more snaps. They just baby stepped him for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I tend to stand with you, but only reason I get you. Let's run nickel. I
Try it.
yeah.
It can't hurt, right?
It couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt.
So Yussuf, what's your prediction for Sunday's game?
I'll tell you, I made the mistake. I played fantasy football my entire, for the last 20 some years, right? And I made the mistake in prime time. I didn't start my Steelers against who do we beat after San Fran? The Browns.
Cleveland.
Browns, yeah.
Cleveland.
I didn't start them. Completely blew it. And I forgot Mike Tomlin, AFC North games in prime time.
Yeah.
He always comes up.
Always comes up, yeah.
So I'm
Monday nights.
Monday nights. I'm going to say Pittsburgh against Baltimore at home, must-win game. I'm going with the Steelers. I think it's going to be 24-17. Close one.
24-17. And not 24-20, huh? Or 24-21, huh?
I was more on 24-20. Yeah, I was more on 24-20. I know.
One touchdown game.
Yeah, for sure. Look, man, I'm more 24-20. But it's just we have to have it. So there's no way I'm about to put any energy about Josh Suckers winning. We have to have it.
Yes, it's a big one.
I'll ask you a question because me and Trey about to argue about it in a couple of seconds. Who needs this win more?
Pittsburgh. Without question. We cannot be 2-3 into the bye and lose another game at home, because that means we've lost to San Fran at home, we lost to the Ravens at home, and even worse, we lost to a first-year head coach and a rookie quarterback who had 5 starters missing.
Yeah,
on the offensive line.
Yes, we cannot do that. We cannot lose. This is a massive game for Pittsburgh, and especially after all the money they've been spending and the draft picks, and everyone was so big on Omar Khan's draft, which I think
he did. I agree.
But it's time to show up, and this is your division rival. This is the heated rival. If you throw a dud like you did against the Texans, against the Ravens, it could get very ugly very quickly.
Yeah, and I'm calling it by halftime. I'll be calling for Canada for sure.
Hey, look, look.
I wouldn't even wait till halftime, Maestro. I think it might be first quarter. We got to kick him out the booth.
Hey, look, you're getting no argument from me. I understand why Pittsburgh needs this more than Baltimore from you guys' perspective. I guess for me, and I was steaming off of losing to the Colts the previous week. Like, that was a game we had in hand, and we just kind of let that one, get away from us. And that's we talking Texans here, but before the season started, me and Maestro, we did a couple of AFC North panels on some other shows over the summer. And one of the things I was saying is that it wouldn't surprise me if all these teams in the North got to the playoffs, because we're playing the AFC South, which is a bad, division based off of, right. But we were basing it off of last year's records in that division. Now it seems like we got to take the AFC South seriously now, because everybody in there is 2-2 right now. And if I'm not mistaken, everybody in the division has lost to the AFC South to each other. Right. Yeah. So,
but you know what, though? I'll tell you, D'Amico Ryans, I loved him at San Fran. I thought he was a great head coach. What he has brought to that team, to the Texans, they got the quarterback that they needed, who was NFL ready. And, they have a great running back. Imagine if you have a one receiver on that team. Like, if you put a number one on that team, what do you do? So I don't think they're going to they're not going to shock the world and go 12-4 or anything like that, but or
No.
12-5. But I do think they could have a 10-7 record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
In that division,
yeah.
you never know.
They certainly I ain't gonna lie. My eyes are wide open to the Houston Texans now. Another person we are not talking about out of the Mike Shanahan tree is Steve Slowick, the offensive coordinator. He called a hell of a game
Yeah.
against us. We look stupid. He called a hell of that's a guy in the first year, Steve Slowick. Look out for that dude, man, because he called the shit out that game.
But you see what we're saying? When you have a talented offensive coordinator, he understands what he has and uses it to his best ability.
Yeah.
So he lost 4 offensive starters or 5 offensive starters, including left tackle, guard, etc.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He was like, listen, we are going to let CJ Stroud throw. And we know who he's going to throw to all day.
Yeah.
I forgot how many.
Nico Collins.
I like Nico Collins. He's not a number one, but
he looks like he could be. Right. He
looked like he could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 160 yards?
168. Yeah.
So that's the problem. Steelers don't game plan, and Canada is the prime culprit for it. And here's the worst part. It makes our defense look even worse because they're exhausted by the second quarter, So they got to do something. They have.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I got a couple more NFL points. So we do got to talk Buffalo and Miami because that was I thought that was the biggest game of the weekend. And, coming off of, putting up a 70 burger on Denver, Miami got humbled real quick on Sunday. We're getting 48 put on them, almost 50 put on them by Buffalo. It was almost as if Buffalo said, oh, y'all doing this? Y'all putting 70 on niggas? And, they talking about y'all, the threat? Like, y'all must have forgot who we are in Buffalo. You must have forgot we the division champs right here. And that's what it felt like on Sunday.
Let me tell you. First of all, that Denver dismantling was really, I think, misleading because Denver's just bad. They are really bad.
Oh, yeah.
They are not the Denver of old. They are bad, bad, bad. And Chicago put up 28 on them. And they should have won that game too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I think the Denver score was really misleading. I think they were just, running through a team that just has no clue what they're doing.
Yeah.
But I think when they ran up against Buffalo, and Buffalo's like, you're not AFC East champs. No way. And they bashed Josh Allen after that first game he had with the bad interceptions against the Jets. And what has he done in the 3 games since? Right? He has gone crazy.
Yeah.
Especially over the last 2 games.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay? And Josh Allen balled out. He balled out. Now they have a little running game too.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Buffalo.
James Cook. Yeah, James Cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's showing up. He's showing up. I'll give him that.
They got the right Cook brother for certain.
Yeah, and here's the other thing is they have a bona fide number 1, Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
And when you have that number 1 receiver and a quarterback like Josh Allen, you see what they can do. You
think you think you still want to be in Buffalo?
Yeah, man. Let me tell you, I think Buffalo is going to be the team you got to beat in order to get out. I still see flaws in Kansas City, regardless of the Taylor Swift effect. But man, the Jets almost had him.
Jets almost
should have had him. They got
Jets
robbed. They definitely got robbed at the end.
Yeah.
But it's that's why I think Buffalo is the team to beat. I just think they've been showing all around. Like, look, you can say what you want, but look what we can do against an offense that put up 70, 30, 20.
Right.
We held them to 20 points, and one of those points was scored in garbage time.
Yeah. Hey, how you feeling about your prediction, Maestro, on Buffalo?
I'm not feeling that great about it right now. I'm not. But Josh Allen normally plays good in the beginning. And then he I ain't gonna say normally because this just happened last year. And that's where the where my prediction kind of loomed from. Just to keep you abreast. We both made bold predictions at the top of the season, so I'm not going to be the one that sits in my fester without throwing his fester out there. I predicted that Buffalo would not make the playoffs at the beginning of the season.
Ooh.
Trey predicted that Chicago would win the NFC North.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
looking
Trey.
that's looking bad.
Yeah.
Sorry,
That's-
Trey.
But so is mine. But mine is too. So
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and I put money on mine. I went and found the sports books and put like $20 down. So yeah.
Well, so apparently you're out $20. We know that.
Yeah,
I hope you didn't bet, Trey, because you're definitely losing money.
Well, I'm gonna be out the same amount of money because as they keep losing games, them odds are only gonna go from plus 4,000 to like plus 12,000 now for them to make the playoffs. So,
Well, I tell you though, one thing I really hate is the way that Justin Fields is getting treated right now. It bothers me. It really does, because I think he is so much better than what he has been given credit for. I think he's much better than what he is given the tools for. And I think his coach, between Eberflus and I forgot who's his coach his rookie year.
Nagy,
right? He almost got him killed, right?
Yeah.
The worst plays, no pass protection. And I think Eberflus has not quite figured out what to do with him. But you saw what he can do. He put up 28 really quickly against the Broncos.
I was going to say, the Broncos. Everybody puts up points against the Broncos, it seemed like.
If it wasn't for their defense, they would have won that game.
Yeah.
Right,
They would have won that game. So I think Justin Fields deserves a lot better. It's a story I've been thinking about writing for a while, is that I just feel like he deserves better than what he's been given.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter today. I've been on Twitter a lot today, as you can tell. That people are talking about, well, what if Fields was in Atlanta as opposed to being in Chicago, and what would the effect be with him being in Atlanta? So it's just definitely an interesting conversation. That maybe, I mean, what are the chances that Justin Fields just is out at Chicago? What are the chances?
Well, it's funny. I during the NFL draft, I don't know if you guys remember what Todd McShay had said, which I've always had a problem with Todd McShay, because I feel like he says a lot of stuff that is really, really stupid. And he had said that, first of all, he had gone after Jalen Hurts when Hurts was a rookie. Excuse me, when he was getting drafted. And said that the Eagles basically wasted a pick.
Oh, wow.
What are you getting? There's no upgrade. Like, I've written about it before, and it's a joke to me. I'm like, if you didn't watch Jalen Hurts at Alabama and then Oklahoma, then you should not comment. Because this boy can play, and he's proven. So he said that he felt the Bears should trade away Justin Fields and draft Bryce Young. And I was sitting there going, why would you do that? That makes absolutely no sense. And the whole thing, it's always you'll be on a rookie contract.
And the media ran with that all throughout the offseason. Yeah.
And I thought it was so stupid. I thought it was beyond stupid. You have a great player in Justin Fields. You need an offensive coordinator to help him. You need talent around him. You got DJ Moore, right? You got the Mooney, who is pretty good. You got Cole Kmet. Give him a line and give him the right plays. He will be just fine. He's too much of a weapon to sit back there. He's not a pocket passer. Look at your boy Lamar. They realize, listen, we're not going to make you a pocket passer. And they let him go crazy, and look what he does. That's what they need. And that's why I feel really bad about what they're doing to him up there. But I don't think they made a mistake in drafting him.
Yeah. Going back to that draft that Justin Fields was in, I had said at that time that the Falcons should have picked him. But instead, they went with another year of Matt Ryan, and we all saw how that, kind of ended there. So it's kind of going full circle now with, now I'm hearing today, Desmond Ridder doesn't look great. Maybe the Falcons should try to make a in-season trade for Justin Fields, which I don't believe that's going to happen. But
of course not.
That'd be a really interesting thing to see for certain. But
let's be clear, they brought in Taylor Heineke in case Desmond Ridder didn't pan out.
Yep.
We just watched Taylor Heineke come in and make the Commanders a respectable team. So. They definitely wasn't going for. I don't see them going for Justin Fields no time soon.
Yeah,
and I just don't understand. How do you have Kyle Pitts and nobody throws him the ball?
That's crazy.
It's been bugging me out for the long. I'm like, this guy is one of the best tight ends in the league, and you just have him doing nothing, running.
That's crazy. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. So, I don't know. I mean, I think that would, if you gave those weapons to Justin Fields, like DJ Moore, they've proven they have something there, right? He just needs another weapon, and maybe it's a running back, maybe it's what's his name, Jonathan Taylor, right? Maybe a surprise move and get Jonathan Taylor. That would improve the offense dramatically.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
Problem is Irsay being really greedy with.
But no, because he has no intention on trading them. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
he's just doing this to stroke ego at this point.
But you know what? How Taylor's been in the league 4 years?
4 years.
Maybe you make that move and give up a number 1 or a high number 2, because the Bears, look what they did last year, right? They traded with the Steelers with a 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool, and now if they can't get a 5th or 6th rounder, they're going to cut him.
Yeah,
which is insane to me.
Right.
By the way, Maestro, we have to go back to 2019. 2nd round, 49th pick comes up. I'm screaming for Jalen Hurts, and I'm like,
oh, you hurt my. I didn't even realize that happened.
49th pick of the NFL.
Oh my, we missed on. Oh my God, you did.
So, I don't know if you remember this, because I was watching and I'm like, yo, we could draft Jalen Hurts and put him behind Roethlisberger for a year.
Right.
And Jalen even talked about this on that podcast with the Kelsey brothers about he thought Pittsburgh was taking him.
Oh, my heart is
when they took Claypool, he got the call from Pennsylvania. He thought it was the Steelers. And
it was that same draft, the Claypool draft?
That was the draft. They took Chase Claypool instead of Jalen Hurts. And I have been so ticked off about that for 4 years now.
Now I'm a part of the club. I didn't even realize that happened. Oh my goodness,
man! So much.
And now we got Kenny Pickett. And let's be clear, I'm riding with him because he's here now and he's our quarterback. I didn't want to draft Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
I didn't want to draft him. I didn't want Malik Willis either, but I didn't want Kenny Pickett.
Willis is an interesting one. I don't think he would have been good in that position. I think the Titans took him in the 3rd round or 4th round, whatever.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think he's going to be okay. I really think he's going to be all right if they give him a shot.
I hope so.
Well, I don't know about with Tennessee now because they drafted the kid.
Levis.
Levis.
I think he's better than Levis, and I think they saw it in preseason. He had some shining moments in preseason. I just think let him play, man. He's got more talent than Tannehill right now, but Tannehill probably gives him the best chances of winning.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Titans doing some questionable stuff in their front office, though. I mean, I know they fired the one guy because they gave away A.J. Brown in the previous offseason, but they got some issues up there.
Well, they got a new GM now, Rand Carthon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to do some great things in the draft next year. But, I mean, look, they went out and beat who'd they beat this past weekend?
The Bengals.
Yeah. Right. They shocked the Bengals. They finally gave the ball to Travis Henry. He not only ran all over him, he threw a touchdown.
Yeah. Derrick Henry.
Excuse me. Derrick Henry.
Shout out to Travis Henry.
Yeah, Travis Henry. Right. But he threw a touchdown pass. I think it's his 5th or 4th.
He threw a touchdown pass. Yeah.
So they realized, like, for us to win, we need Henry to get the ball a lot.
Derrick Henry's still him now.
Yeah. I don't know why they forgot, but
right.
What happens when he gets the ball, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So I gotta not too important. So how do you feel about Rodney Harrison trying to play Chris Jones at the post game presser?
It's funny. I don't think a lot of athletes, when they go into broadcasting, sometimes they still slip up and go into that athlete mode.
Yeah,
and want to get at someone. I get it. I think Chris Jones did the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it happens. I don't think it was anything too major. But he got caught on camera doing it. So
yeah,
it's really big news. But I think Chris Jones was like, whatever. We're not going to go down that route. That's not.
But that wasn't the night to do that. Zach Wilson played some good quarterback in that game.
He did.
It makes it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you.
But don't forget, Maestro, he's a former Patriot too.
Yeah.
So he always, if he
can't stand them Patriots, man.
He's gonna take a dig, right?
He's gonna take a dig, and that's what I felt like. He was taking a dig. And look, part of me, all right, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I respect it, but Yeah, you're not playing no more, bro. I get it. I know your heart's still there, but it's not like he's been he's been an analyst for some time now. It's like
Yeah, and he's been good. I think he's a good analyst.
He is, but every so often
yeah,
you
yeah,
slip, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was anything too major. Like it's
Nah. I agree.
it happened, but I think Chris Jones handled it really, really well.
Yep.
And Zach, to his credit, he had one mistake. One
Yeah.
mistake.
One mistake. Yeah, the fumble.
You dropped a shotgun.
Yeah.
At the wrong moment.
Shout out to Zach Wilson. Say what you want to say, man. But he played a good game against the Chiefs. I ain't saying he about to all of a sudden be who the Jets need them to be.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta give it to him when he do good.
But what do you attribute that to? What do you like that night? What do you attribute that to? Because
he was trash all last year too until he smoked us.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
I think everybody will have that one game.
Yeah.
And they'll show up. I think now the real test is what happens in this week's game.
They got the Broncos, right? They got the Broncos coming up. Yeah.
Now we've seen what the Broncos are about. Okay, Justin just put up 28 on them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, Miami put up 70 on them.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes out and puts up 3 on them, that speaks volumes. It was just one hit.
It would.
Right.
It definitely would. It definitely would. But
the way problem is, who else are you going to go to? Trevor Siemian?
Yeah, right. You're not. Yeah, you did not.
Right? Nope. Salah's standing by the guy, so
Yeah, he's very adamant about supporting Zach Wilson, which is interesting because you could have saved some money and not got Aaron Rodgers if you was going to ride this crazy. But
But that's the thing I wanted to get to though. That the whole the reason for his play on Sunday night. I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers being in the building, not necessarily being on the sideline because he's hurt and stuff, but just him being in the building and them showing his face on the screen in the stadium, I guess just kind of have that comfort there, I think kind of helps Zach Wilson a little bit. And to the fact that you had the greatest quarterback in the franchise's history go off on him the week before about, he needed to be gone and stuff like that.
That's true too. That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe he had a little.
Maybe it inspired him.
Yeah, maybe.
Step up a little bit. I hope so. I don't like to see my New York teams lose, even though I'm not a huge fan. But I don't like to see them lose, and especially because I feel bad for the defense because it's just like Pittsburgh, right? They're all so bad, their defense is exhausted, and the Jets have a really good defense.
Good defense.
They're good, man. They're good. They had a couple mistakes, man. Because even though Zach Wilson did fumble,
I wish we.
The two 3rd and 22s. Right. The two was a 3rd and 20 and then a 3rd and 22. I mean, if you a defense that, you trying to say you the 85 Bears and you this and you that, you got to get that team. I mean, Patrick Mahomes or not, you got to get that team off the field if you in those two situations 3rd and long like that. And I get the refs kind of, well, they're not kind of, they did screw them on that second 3rd and long where they caught Sauce with his hands around the receiver, which they tried to say it was what was it, illegal contact or holding or whatever.
Holding. They called it
holding. Yeah, that was very ticky tacky, and they just kind of bled the clock out at that point. It was like 7. It was like half the quarter was gone. Like that's when that fumble happened, and they never got the ball back after that point.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing Kansas City do know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to get about the stadium when you give them an opportunity to get about that stadium.
That is true.
A million times in games, a million times where their offense isn't super good that game, and they got an opportunity to just run a 7-minute offense. They do it.
That's the difference between great teams
and just good ones
and just teams, right?
Yeah, that's a fact.
How to win. No matter what it is, they can take advantage of it.
Yussuf, you mentioned Eric Bieniemy earlier. I do see a little bit of difference in Kansas City's offense now that he's not calling the plays anymore. I see some differences. I think what masks everything right now with the Kansas City Chiefs is that their defense for 4 weeks has been good, like quietly sneaky good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Mahomes I don't think he broke 200 yards this past week, right?
Yeah. Oh, he was outplayed by Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, he was outplayed.
when was
Absolutely.
the last time we saw Patrick Mahomes against a mediocre team? Not overall
Yeah,
team.
sure.
Not saying their defense, but
Mhm.
go for less than 200 yards. It's very rare
Very,
that we
very
see
rare.
that.
I saw
You
a
know?
stat that said that was the first time he was ever outplayed since high school by another quarterback.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that goes to some of the problems they've been having without Bieniemy. And I think, look, if you do a comparison of Washington and Kansas City, Washington put up what 28 or was it 30? 28 on the Eagles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
31.
31 on
31.
the Eagles. They put up 31 on the Eagles.
Mhm.
Okay, and they don't have a great quarterback,
Yeah.
right? The running game is legit. Robinson is legit. Antonio Gibson's legit. And of course, Terry McLaurin is legit. But their quarterback isn't all that. And he's putting up 31 against
Yeah.
the Super
That
Bowl
was
runner.
a good bounce back for him from the previous week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
And he's still learning the offense too. These are still all guys that are new to him. And that's why I was so big on, whatever you're doing, Tomlin, kick out Canada and go.
Yeah. Because Sam Howell is playing. I mean, worlds better than Kenny Pickett. And it's just not even close. And the only thing, like you said, the only thing you can really attribute to, because Kenny Pickett got the more experience. You could kind of, I don't know who's the quote unquote better quarterback. I know who looks better right now, and I know how Kenny Pickett, he was turning on at the end of the season last year. He was looking all right. And to look this bad, man, and I gotta hear it every day in my 9 to 5. I swear to goodness, if I gotta Sam Howell, like I had people telling me in February, that Sam Howell was going to be a Pro Bowler this year, and I'm like, oh my! I said, wow,
That's a big claim.
That's a big claim.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
we posted it, so we never forget about it. So now I gotta see it as Sam Howell plays well week by week. It just makes me. It really angers me that I gotta be quiet because my Steelers playing like some trash.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to have Josh Dobbs back?
Still no. The answer is still no.
Yeah, you know what though? I think even if Josh Dobbs were here, our coordinator is still the problem. So you would probably have
good
Josh
point.
Dobbs there throwing passes from a
Good point.
from a shotgun in the pocket. And look at what Josh Dobbs is doing in Arizona. He's not a pocket passer
at all.
Mobile, he runs, and Arizona, although they got beat up late, they are showing that they have a little fight to them, and I think that's impressive.
Yeah, they beat the Cowboys. I mean,
Yeah.
You got to respect them
They
for that.
beat the Giants. They had the Giants and they let it go.
Yeah.
But again, that's a team that is in a transition, and with Connor and with Josh Dobbs, they're playing hard.
Yeah.
What are this is a Pittsburgh question. It's rare that I get to talk to a Pittsburgh Steelers fan on a podcast. It's really rare. If we get in our ass whipped, what are the chances that Mason Rudolph comes into this game?
I have never been a fan of Mason Rudolph.
Neither have I.
Ain't he the third string guy?
Yeah. He throws ducks. I've never liked his ball. The way he throws, it's like it's up in the air for 20 seconds before it comes down. I've never liked him. I don't even know about Trubisky, to be honest. Remember what he did? What did he do last year against the Ravens? He had 3 picks. One in the zone, right?
Yeah.
And it cost us the game. So that's the problem with Trubisky. Like, he'll have flashes of good play
against Tampa Bay last year.
And then what'll happen? He'll have that one crucial pick in a key moment, and it changes the entire game. I don't think Mason Rudolph is a guy that's going to come in and change the tide of that game. So I think we're stuck with Trubisky. And hopefully, if they make some real changes and allow us to run the ball a little bit more, give Najee more than 10 carries, let him carry the ball.
Yeah.
I think we'll be much better off.
So, Maestro, you're of the opinion already you got Trubisky starting on Sunday.
I do.
Yeah, he's starting. I do.
Oh,
Pickett's not going to play.
They
Yeah,
said, I mean, what they said was that they're gonna let him practice and see what it looks like on Wednesday. I
Sound.
I
don't think.
not with a bye coming up in week 6. Like
Yeah,
let him sit 2 weeks and get ready.
Mm,
Because if
good
he
point.
re-aggravates it, he's done for at least 4 weeks.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Hey, Yussuf, let's talk about the getting the game conference.
Sure.
Again, 3-day conference here in Baltimore at the Sheraton Inn Hotel, Inner Harbor, Baltimore City. Talk to us about that and let everybody know who's coming, what to expect out of this conference and what to take from it.
The main reason we started is because my partners and I over at SBR Net, they're a sports data company. We are all professors and sports veterans. We've been in the business a long, long time. And we realize a lot of candidates that are coming out now, particularly candidates of color, they are not ready for the sports business industry. And there's a very big difference between being a fan and being a business person in sports. I might be a diehard Steelers fan, but you know what? I might end up working for the Ravens. And
Right,
then my
right.
job is to make sure the Ravens are profitable. It is not that I want them to lose against the Steelers, right? So a lot of students don't understand the sports business industry. So we came up with this idea of why don't we create an event that is not panel based, where it's not me getting up and saying, I've been in the business 25 years and blah, blah, blah. It is really about hearing from people what their experiences are, hearing case studies, how businesses are making successful moves in sports. It is about a career fair where you can interview for potential internships and maybe even full-time positions. It is a chance to listen to executives for example, if you want to be in college athletics administration, on Sunday the 8th at lunchtime, I'm moderating the session on that topic. We will have Marvin Lewis, the athletic director at George Mason. We will have Clyde Dowdy, the athletic director at Bowie State. We will have Kenny Monday, the head wrestling coach at Morgan. This is their first year. They'll be the only HBC with the D1 wrestling program. And we'll have Coach Regina Smith, who is the head coach of acrobatics and tumbling at Morgan. That is a Division I sport. They're the only HBCU that is fielding a Division I team.
That's dope.
Why did we do that? Because we wanted to give people the opportunity to hear what it's like running a department, what it's like launching and building a program from scratch. That is one of the big sessions, but the biggest one we'll have is the state of HBCU athletics, featuring the conference commissioners from the CIAA, MEAC, SIAC, and the Gulf Coast, which we're really excited about. So 4 of the 5 HBCU commissioners. Charles McClellan from SWAC was the only one. He couldn't make it because he had a prior engagement, but you'll get to hear from the people leading the charge in HBCU athletics, the 4 of the 5 main people. And I'm moderating that one. That's on Saturday at 12. And we're really excited about that because it's the first time they've all got together to discuss an important topic. Where do HBCU sports go? What is it happens with TV? What happens with streaming? What about, are you acquiring new teams, losing teams, etc.? So you now get to hear firsthand from these people who are executives, who are decision makers, in a way that I think is more understandable and digestible for students.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, that's dope stuff, man. And I'm glad. As we were talking a few days ago, you had mentioned Rita, the NFL chick, was kind of helping you with, maybe coordinating some stuff. Because we've had her on here a couple of times also, when we've been to a couple of her events. She is Baltimore, right? So, to have her, help you coordinate things and, know the right people and things like that, that's really a good look, because she's really a great source around here.
Yeah, and I one of the things I'm very big on. I'm from New York, as I said. I know you're from New York, right?
Yep.
And if people come to New York, I would expect them to look me up or whoever else is from New York, because you have to know the lay of the land. You got to know who to call, where to be, etc.
Yep.
So I've been to Baltimore, but I don't know the city. So I'm not just going to come here and thinking I run things, right? So because I would be quickly mistaken and checked.
Don't be like Irv Gotti now.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, I'm not trying to end up on that side of the business.
Yeah.
But so there were people that I saw. There were a couple people I know, and she was one of them. And we had never met, but I reached out to her through a mutual friend, and we ended up meeting when I was down there for a site visit. hit it off, and she was like, this is who you call, this is what you have to do, blah, blah, blah. And it worked out really well. And then through my other industry contacts, we were able to get to Under Armour, the Ravens, the Orioles, who obviously, just finished, closed out the East.
Yep.
So we're really excited because we will be there during the Saturday night. They have a game during that night, and we're going to be there.
Oh yeah, that's game 1, right? Yeah.
Game 1.
Yep.
So we're excited. The city has opened their arms. They've embraced us. Visit Baltimore, the tourism spot for Baltimore. They've given us every resource we could ask for. All the HBCUs in town, University of Maryland, Townsend, they've all opened up their arms. So I've always been a fan of Baltimore. I think it gets a bad rap. I think many people.
Yeah, I agree.
They just think it's The Wire, right? And that's the thing, like The Wire is everywhere in the city. And there are good people in Baltimore, hardworking people, gentrifying neighborhoods. There are neighborhoods that are hood, but that happens in every
city. Every city's like that.
So, it was important for us to come to Baltimore for a lot of different reasons. But I think the biggest thing that we have is that they've embraced us from every single angle. And really excited, and Rita was one of those people. She was like, what time are you done with the meetings? I got a meeting. I'll meet you at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, damn, that's late, but all right. We ended up meeting right there. And she told me everything about Baltimore. She's like, I'm gonna put you in touch with the radio. I'm gonna put you to, and she did it. So shout out to her for really helping us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's good people's good folks, family for real.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And she'll be there. I think she's coming Sunday. So it's good to see her as well.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Yussuf, man, we appreciate you coming and spending some time with us, talking some sports, man. I think the last thing, Trey, if you ain't got nothing else, man, just let people know where they can find you, man.
Sure. So first of all, thank you for having me. As I said, I've watched you guys for a while, and continued success to you, and I appreciate you having me on. The website is firstandpen, firstandpen.com. So you can check us out. We're really trying to build something different in the sports media industry. The other thing is, if you can make it to the event, you can register at getinthegameconference.net. And if you can't make it, we will also have a live stream at watch.firstandpen.com. So you can buy your, $19.95 for a 2-day pass. You get to see probably 10 or 15 different sessions from some really big name executives. So looking forward to coming down to Baltimore. Looking forward to meeting both of you as well. And I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
we definitely gonna hit up a couple of sessions on Saturday for certain, man. And we look forward to meeting you and, bringing on some connections and things like that. So, happy that we were able to, bring this to come to fruition. Happy that we were able to talk a few days ago when to kind of set this up, and then now to, get to Saturday and finally meet you and everybody else. So this was dope, man. And again, we appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
And for your time and everything. And go Ravens.
I was about to say 24-17, Mike. 24-17.
Yes, sir. I'm riding with you. They ain't even scoring that.
In fact, I might take away 3 points just because you said that. So
let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Yes, sir. We see you Saturday.
Yep, we're gonna put a hit on him on Sunday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry. I'm still good with the.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Yeah.
We're gonna see.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you all on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. You too.
Take care, guys.
All right
now.
All right, man. You too, man. Yussuf Khan right there. First and Pen, firstandpen.com. Make sure you check him out. And he talked about all the information in regards to this weekend's conference, the 3-day event. Getinthegameconference.com, I think, is the website. And like I said, you can go check out his website as well, firstandpen.com, for any information in regards to the conference there. So, dope stuff right there, man.
Yes, sir.
He definitely took me for a left turn after the Knicks conversation.
Hey, man. Hey, man. So we got to talk about a couple of things kind of quick, man.
What's good, man? What's good?
I think it's safe that we can go back, that the world, I know me and you talked about it last week, the world can go back to having regular expectations of Colorado. of the Colorado Buffaloes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The lacklusters died down. They are current now. They're officially an unranked team as of right now. Shador Sanders has kind of slipped into the Heisman conversation. Like we can get back to kind of normal and reasonable expectations
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to Deion Sanders coming and turning this franchise around. I think that's official after these 2 straight losses. I will say shout out to Colorado and the Buffaloes. They played USC better than they played. They played USC better than they played Oregon. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I wanna not twist the knife, but I wanna make mention. Stop playing with Caleb Williams. That's all I'll say.
We knew about Caleb Williams all along.
But everybody was getting a little like, look, Shador Sanders is going to be a great quarterback in the NFL. I believe that's what I believe.
Yep, me too.
But if we're just talking about right now, who's doing what with DMV? Shout out Caleb Williams. He's different. He's just it's just levels to it, and that's not to say that Shador Sanders won't go to the NFL and do great things and be just as great as a quarterback. But right now, in this college football setting, Caleb Williams is different.
When you look at that final score, 48-41, you would have thought that this was like a back and forth kind of a game, but in reality, that was a 35-7 game at one point.
Yeah.
So props to Colorado for the second half fight to get back in the game, and
for sure,
and like I told you, Maestro, like, hey, when you down like that, hey, you got to join the party at some point, and they put up a fight, and they lost by 7, and I think that spread was like minus 21 again, like it was the previous week.
Yeah.
So Vegas made a mistake with that, but they fought hard. But yeah, like you said, they're unranked, and I think at this point, because now their schedule kind of softens a little bit with Arizona coming up and a few other people in the conference as well. So, look, man, Deion's still Deion. Them boys still gonna be what they're gonna be. They still gonna talk that talk. Yep, they'll be fine. They still gonna talk that talk. But for the celebrities that been showing up, y'all better keep that same energy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'll say.
Yeah, keep the same.
But they won't. Let's be clear.
Yeah,
they won't.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
They won't.
Unfortunate, but
Maryland's undefeated streak is probably going to come to an end this weekend.
They 5-0, right?
Right, they're 5-0. They're going. They got Ohio State this weekend. So,
you know what? I ain't scared, man. I'm not scared. I watched the ending of Ohio State and Notre Dame. Was it a week or so ago? And Ohio State won that game on the last second of the game at the goal line. Like, Notre Dame was really like there for the win, and I don't consider Notre Dame to be all that great.
Is Notre Dame ranked?
I don't remember if they are or not.
Okay.
But Maryland, I mean, and I get the schedules are different, but 5-0 is 5-0.
5-0 is 5-0 every day of the week, and I'm proud. I'm just saying, I don't see them coming out of this with a win. Now, let's be clear. If they come out of this with a win, I'm gonna act like I never said this shit. I might have a Terps hoodie by next Tuesday. I'm just letting you know.
Now you approaching Mace territory here. Rocking different hats and stuff. You seen that nigga with the Milwaukee Bucks hat on after the Dame trade.
Dame trade? Nah,
yeah,
I didn't see that.
This nigga's wilding, man. Like he on the side of whoever's winning. That's all it is.
That's what he said.
Yep.
My last thing is I mean, it's not big news. Charlo got his ass whooped by Canelo.
Yeah.
Bud says that
he called out Bud, right?
Well, yeah, they had been talking trash about trying to get a fight together, but Bud says after that ass whooping, he is officially off the hit list. He had Charlo on his hit list before this fight. He said after that fight, after that ass whooping, you don't want none of this.
Don't want the smoke.
Bud said he don't want Charlo don't want none of this Terrence Crawford smoke. I tend to agree. I agree before this fight happened, let's be clear.
Yeah.
But yeah. He said it's a wrap for Charlo. For Charlo getting a fight Bud Crawford.
I heard it wasn't even close. Like Canelo was giving him that work. Is what I heard.
I watched the highlights. I ain't gonna lie. I had a DJ that night. Mm-hmm. So by the time I got in the house, I cut it on. Mm-hmm. It was on, but I fell asleep. I ain't gonna lie.
I heard it was getting work.
Yeah, I was definitely drunk. So yeah. I came in the house drunk, had me a little drugs, and dozed off.
Man.
But I did watch. It was domination. It was domination.
It was domination.
And like we all thought it would be.
Right.
Like we all thought it would be. So
yeah, I guess. Hey, let's get into some picks, man. Let's get into week. What is this? Week 5 now. So
week 5.
Week 5. Let's go. Let's do this. Thursday night. Oh no, this isn't the list. See, I'm slipping. I'm slipping here.
I know Thursday.
Yeah. Well, no, it had Detroit and Green Bay on there, and that was already a game last week. So
yeah, man, I went to go see SZA that night, man.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I went to Baltimore to see SZA, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Dope show.
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. I ain't gonna lie. It was good. Let me be very clear. It was good. Mm-hmm. But I saw Erykah Badu first, and that's kind of like my standard now.
Yeah, right.
And it's not gonna be many people that's gonna outperform Erykah Badu in my personal opinion. But SZA was super dope. I am more of a fan today than I was last Wednesday.
Interesting. Also interesting. You said nobody can outperform Erykah Badu.
No. Yeah, that's going to be hard to outperform.
Hard to. Got you. Because
that show was phenomenal.
Yeah, I believe you. And the name that comes to mind is Jill Scott, and I know you're a big Jill Scott fan.
But I haven't seen her yet.
You haven't seen her in concert yet? Live?
Yeah. Nigga, my first concert was this year, Erykah Badu, outside of like Go-Go and shit.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been to a concert.
Really?
But this year was my first year, and I went to 3. I went to 3 this year. So I went to see Erykah Badu. I went to see Kehlani, and I went to see SZA.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the Commanders on Thursday night. Going up against the Chicago Bears at home.
Commanders.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Commanders too, and then another international game on Sunday. Jacksonville versus the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
I want to pick
Buffalo Bills.
I want to pick Jacksonville so bad.
I do.
I really do. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Buffalo. Saints at the Patriots.
Patriots.
I'm gonna go Saints here. Maybe this is my dislike for the Patriots, but and they played some terrible football lately.
I was just thinking because I know because Mac Jones got benched last week, didn't he?
He got benched when it was like 30-3.
Yeah,
but nah, give me the Saints. I'm gonna take the Saints. Shout out to my wife in the chat, in the Facebook live chat. She says Patriots, so I guess she's doing picks along with us, so that's cool. That's cool. What we got here? Tennessee at the Colts.
Give me Tennessee.
Tennessee. I think this game goes either way. I'm gonna go Colts here, just to be different. Kansas City at Minnesota.
Give me Kansas City. Kansas City.
Yeah, Chiefs all day. Debbie's got Tennessee. Jets at the Broncos. I'm gonna go Jets here.
Yep. No, you know what?
What's up?
I'm going Jets. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, come on now. That defense is historically bad this year. Give me the Jets. Debbie's got KC. Giants at the Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins all
Dolphins. Yeah.
day. Panthers at the Lions.
Lions.
Yeah, give me Detroit also. Debbie's got the Jets. Houston at Atlanta.
Houston.
You know what, man? Because I want to pick Houston. But this seems like one of them trap games. If there was ever such one.
I don't even think C.J. Stroud knows what a trap game is. Right? Like he's too young. He's too fucking young to know what a trap game is.
He top 5 in passing too.
I know that.
You know.
I know that for a fact.
And he hasn't thrown an interception yet.
Nope.
This season either. So
not at all.
Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans. Debbie's got the Texans also. Eagles at the Rams.
This is where I thought maybe we can get a upset, but it's in LA.
It's in LA. Not that makes a difference because Eagle fans are gonna be all over that damn building. But the Eagles haven't been playing great.
I know.
They haven't played great.
I'm trying to think. Do I really want to jump out the window? Fuck it. I take the Rams in the upset.
You take the Rams? Okay, I'll go Eagles then. I'll go Eagles. Bengals at the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Ooh. And I wanna pick Arizona too. Debbie's got the Eagles, by the way. I do love the Cardinals in this game. I just have a feeling that Cincinnati's going to come off the mat here. Give me Cincinnati. I'll rock with you, Debbie. I'll rock with you with the Bengals on that one. Sunday night game. This is I guess it's the game of the week.
100%.
Cowboys at the 49ers.
49ers. 49ers is getting in that ass. It won't be a blowout, but
I'm gonna jump out the window. On this one.
I respect it.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys, and it's funny. I took the Cowboys in the playoffs against San Francisco. That didn't work out so great.
Yeah, I don't see this going Dallas's way at all.
Yeah,
at all.
I'm going Cowboys. See, Debbie going with the Cowboys too. So.
Great. That's because y'all are united front, and I respect that and love that about y'all. But no, it's 49ers. 49ers is dealing with that.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey for MVP candidacy. I've been hearing that talk a lot.
Yeah, and it's legit.
Mm-hmm. It is. What did he score? 4 touchdowns last week, and he just been getting the ball a lot.
He scored 13, 14 straight games he scored a touchdown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And they haven't lost a regular season game since he got traded there.
Yeah,
Which is crazy. And then you got the Monday night game. I know. Monday night game. Green Bay at the Raiders.
Give me Green Bay.
What's the situation with Jimmy G right now?
Well, I know Aiden McConnell.
O'Connell.
He played Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't seen nothing crazy impressive.
Yeah, because we didn't talk about this earlier, but Green Bay just looked lost last week against Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
I didn't see it. I was singing SZA songs.
I hear you. Yeah, I watched that slop fest. That was unwatchable. Give me the Raiders.
Okay.
Give me the Raiders at home. Debbie's got the Raiders as well. And look, man, I ain't playing with you, man. I ain't gonna be playing games with you, bro. I'm gonna have the hearse parked around the corner on Sunday. Give me the Ravens.
Hold on, real quick, bro.
Give me the Ravens.
I don't like the shit you saying, bro.
19 to 13. Give me the Ravens, bro.
You got me fucked
See,
up
so you just gonna take off the headphones just so you can't hear me talking, huh?
You got me fucked up.
Give me the Ravens. 4-1, baby.
Can y'all see got me fucked up.
I'm gonna
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm gonna have a hearse parked around the corner
Pittsburgh Steelers.
with the coroner waiting.
24. Ravens 14. Let's go.
Oh, now you go 14 now.
Let's go.
It ain't 20. It ain't 20 no more, right?
20 no more. Let's go. 24-14 Pittsburgh Steelers. We need this going into the bye. Mitch Trubisky, Najee Harris. Let's get it.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Let's get Mitchell Trubisky.
I want to see him on Sunday.
Jaylen Warren. Let's get it.
I want to see him on Sunday. I want to see that Mitchell Trubisky. That last year Mitchell Trubisky. I want to see that guy. I want to see that guy from last year on Sunday.
Yeah, nah, straight like that though. You hear me? Straight like that.
Yeah. You know these games come down to the last second.
Not this time.
3-point game, 6-point game, whatever. I give it 6 points. I think the margin will be 6 points this time. 19-13. Let's get
13 points.
4-1.
Sheesh.
4-1. Let's go.
Before we go, man,
I
need to say happy birthday to Black Thought of the Roots.
Happy birthday to one of the illest MCs.
India Ari. Talib Kweli's birthday is today. And the most important is my mama.
Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday, Mama.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
She turned 27 today.
Nice. Happy 27th birthday, Mama.
I love you, Mom. Man, I don't know, man. My mother is the reason why I still got faith in you niggas. I just want y'all to be clear. Because I don't like none of you niggas in real life. My mother's the only reason. I love you, Mom. And you told me every day I was handsome, and I can't stop smiling at myself.
Look, otherwise you'd be a lonely nigga, man, if it wasn't for moms.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man. My mom, yeah, I love you, Mom. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. And happy birthday to the rest of the names. Those are some dope names that you threw out there. Happy birthday to all of them. Some legends in hip hop right there, in music and all that good stuff. Hey, just want to give a quick shout out again to Yussuf Khan for coming through and talking some sports, getting ready for this event in the city on Saturday. It's a 3-day event, but you and I are going to be in the house on Saturday doing that up. So appreciate him coming through and look forward to meeting him and all that good stuff. And thanks to the fans, thanks to the people that watch, to my wife on Facebook Live right now. She says happy birthday, Mama, by the way. So,
thank you.
Everybody cares about Maestro's mom. That's great.
Don't worry, I'm not giving y'all no handles.
That's great.
This podcast shit might go far, and I remember last time. I remember years ago we was real new in this podcast, and my sister was in the chat room, and somebody got to talking crazy. Yeah.
Yep. I don't want to mention that because I know who you're talking about. But talk podcasts, and if you listen to us on the audio side, Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, drop us a review. Let us know what you think about the show. It goes a long way. And don't forget, folks, if you're tuning in and you see a link in the description of the show, click on that link. It's to our merch store. We got some mugs, we got some T-shirts, and hopefully we're gonna get some.
I'm doing it.
You're gonna. All right, come on, man. We gotta.
I'm doing. Yeah, my bad. It's getting chilly outside.
We gotta get them hoodies up on there. So
my bad. I'm on that.
To the BSTP fam. We got some hoodies coming up, so it's getting that time of year. So make sure y'all check out the merch store and all that good stuff. So. If nothing else, man, love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. Y'all have a blessed week. We'll be back next week with another hot one. And as always, folks, mind your damn business.
We got 'em. Trey Frazier and Maestro Styles, we got
recording
one.
Stopped.
Right back like we left some. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called